watching at home. I'd just flown out of Bombay when the attacks happened, and I landed in London, and the whole family was just watching in terror. And I knew if they ever were going to tell this story about the bravery of the staff and the survivors and the great people who sacrificed themselves, I really wanted to put my face to it, and so it was a very easy decision, really. I play a young man called Arjun, and he is from a slum, and he is a waiter in the hotel. And he comes in very early in the story, and he's got a young child to feed and a wife. And the great thing about hotels are they're this kind of microcosm where all kind of stratas of society can collide. You've got the poor from the slums and the absolute rich. You see these other characters like Jason Isaacs, billionaire, and they all mingle in this space, which is this hotel. And he comes in and he's really eager to, please and put food on the table for his family. And when things turn up and and they're faced with absolute terror, he kind of rises to the challenge and becomes a man in the process and saves a lot of people. Yeah, so Anthony was incredibly collaborative, and I wanted to. I've done quite a few characters set in India before, and I wanted to really distinguish myself in this film and do something different, really inhabit a new skin. And I'd read the script, and after having a couple sessions with him, I was like, why don't we make him Sikh? He'll have this, he'll have a beard and this long hair, and to the untrained, uncultured eye, he could face prejudice, and that's something that he can overcome. And you can also educate an audience, because there's so many different cultures and religions and faiths in India. It's such a melting pot, and it's really good because we've got that full diaspora being represented in this film. There's a real pressure to get it right. When you're doing a scene, you're constantly battling against those cinematic moments, and you're trying to ground it in a reality. And we try and keep the truth in our minds constantly, to ground these performances. Real people suffered, real people were killed, families are affected, and they will watch this movie. I went and prepped for the film for a month or two in India before I came here, and we spent time at the Taj. I went to a Sikh slum there, and met people that worked in hotels and tried to pick up how to tie a turban and all these kind of small nuances that would make the film feel real. And that's the main aim, is not to come into this and exploit it, but to educate people on how these real people triumphed over this great adversity. They really are heroes. I mean, at its core, for me, this film is about the unlikely heroes at this hotel. Those waiters, the beauty of this story, in the zoo, which is this hotel, is those people that you would sometimes not even throw a second glance at. The man, the bellboy who picks up your luggage, or the person who's delivering you a tray of caviar that you swat away, or this person or that person. It really brings out the humanity in every single person. We shine a light on everyone, from the big VIP guests down to these waiters, and they really put their lives on the line, to save their guests, because this hotel, it was their home. It was sacred to them. For my character in particular, the Taj was like a temple to him. It represented a dream. It represented ambition to a young man from the slums who didn't have anything.